if everybody would go ahead and stand up, we're going to start with a warm-up with just some basic stretches for our lower body before we start our lower body class today. So we'll start with just a knee hug to the chest. Let's do 10 total, 5 on each side. Nice and slow, whoops, so you keep your balance like I just didn't do. I'm gonna do one more on each side. All right, I'm gonna turn to the side. We're gonna do a quad stretch with an opposite arm reach overhead. So I'm gonna grab my ankle, I'm gonna pull my heel towards my butt, and I'll reach overhead with the opposite arm. If it takes you a couple tries to grab your ankle, no worries. After you do a couple, it should get better. If you need to hold on to the wall or something. Yep, there you go. Try to open up that hip. There we go. I'm gonna do one more on each side. Try to squeeze my butt a little bit. All right, and we'll do our hip circles. We do these quite often, but it's good to get our hips moving in a circular motion. So I'm bringing my hip up into flexion, and then I'm abducting that hip outward. I'm stabilizing on my other side, so that left side is nice and strong, and stable. About 10 on each side. I'm going to do this last one and then we'll switch sides. Just kind of pay attention to how your lower back rotates a little bit when we open up those hips. My hips are cracking. I'm going to do one more. And then we're going to go back to the other side and we're going to do the opposite direction. So I'll start in this abducted position and then I'm going to pull in. Really try to focus on the pull coming from the inner leg. We're going to do a lot today with your adductors. Our adductors are kind of like a big group of muscles. They're really about 5 muscles all together that help to pull the pelvis down and pull the pelvis medially, so it creates a lot of stabilization. All right, I'm gonna do one more on this leg and then we'll switch sides. Just try to find your range of motion, work at that for a couple repetitions, and then see if you can create a bigger range of motion. So maybe that means that your leg comes back a little further to start. Create a little bit more rotation in the hip. All right, last but not least, let's do some knee circles and ankle circles. So I'm just gonna put hands on my knees, feet together. I'm gonna bend over slightly like this, and we'll just do some big knee circles. We'll do about 10 clockwise. Notice how your ankles are rolling in this too, that's good. Want to have lots of ankle movement. Your toes are probably gripping and moving side to side a little bit. And then let's reverse directions. All right. Okay, so to start off, our first 3 activation exercises will be on the floor. For those of you who did this last week, hopefully this first movement feels a little smoother to you, or you can find a little bit different range of motion. So we're going to start in a figure 4 position. So we've done this plenty of times. I'm creating a bunch of 90-degree angles. So my leg, my femur comes out of my hip, I have a 90-degree bend at my knee, and then my foot is flexed. So I have a 90-degree bend at my ankle. And then the same with the back leg. So keep the legs kind of far apart from each other. And from here, I'm going to shift a little bit to the side. And all we're going to do is lift up nice and tall through your torso and then lean over that front leg. You're going to feel this in the glute and the hip of the front leg, the leg that we're leaning over. Remember to always breathe into your stretches. Don't force yourself down into like your tightest, position. Use your exhale to really allow yourself to fall deeper into that stretch. Okay, without hands, so lift up your hands, keep your feet on the floor, rotate your hips and your knees around so we come to the other side. Go ahead and fix your legs if you need to a little bit, and we'll do the same thing on that side. So I'm going to lift up nice and tall through my torso, and then I'm going to fold over that forward leg. Remember to focus on my exhales. Fall into that stretch. Should be feeling the hip capsule and the glutes. One more big breath. Very good. Okay, hands are going to come up again. We're going to rotate one more time back around. Stand up, sit up nice and tall, and then we're going to rotate back again. So now we've done 2 rotations on each side. So now we're going to add a hip extension. So I'm going to bring my right foot a little closer to my left leg and kind of bring my back foot in a little closer to my butt. And we're going to do that hip extension. So I'm going to rock forward onto my knees, use my hips to push me forward. I'm going to slide my right foot underneath me and bring my left foot forward into a lunge. I'm going to tuck my hips, lean into that lunge, get that hip a little stretched out on that right side. I will then bring my leg back around into that kneeling position and then sit down. Good. And we'll switch sides. So go ahead and switch your legs. We're going to rock forward. Use your hips. Lean your body forward as you push your hips forward. Good. I'm going to bring my left leg now underneath me and swing forward with my right leg. Tuck my tail. Lean into that lunge. You'll feel the stretch in your left hip. Bring that leg back so we're in our kneeling position. Arms out, slowly descend. Very good. We'll come back to that for a second round. Moving on, we're going to go into a Copenhagen leg raise. So I'm going to use my couch. I'm going to put a pillow under my elbow. For the Copenhagen leg raise, we are working on hip stabilization and adductor strength. So I'm going to put my top leg on top of my couch in a straight position. The more of my leg that's on the couch, so I have pretty much my whole shin on the couch, that's going to be supporting me better, so it'll be slightly easier. If you have knee pain, you can bend your knee. I will come up into a side hip raise first, and then I will bring the bottom leg to meet the top leg. And we're going to do that 8 times. So if everybody's ready to roll, we'll go ahead. Make sure we keep those hips nice and high. Go ahead, start to bring that bottom leg up. Kind of pay attention to your spinal alignment. Make sure our spine is nice and straight. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. That'll help with your hips and your pelvis. When you're done with 8, we'll go ahead and do the other side. I'm going to flip over here and use my ottoman so I'm not putting my back to you. All right, bottom leg is bent, top leg is straight. I will come up into my side hip raise and then pull the bottom leg towards the top leg. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. All right, finish up the set you're on. We're gonna be standing, and you're gonna need a broom or a dowel or a baseball bat, something to help you stabilize. So just to get the glutes kind of firing a little bit more, we're gonna work on single leg stabilization, but we're gonna go into certain positions, certain bent over angles. So I'm gonna stand here so you can see my position a little bit better. I'm gonna raise my right leg off of the floor. It's gonna just kind of be behind me like this. I'm pushing down aggressively with the broom. I'm gonna bend over slightly at the hip. My knee is bent just a little bit. I'm grabbing with my toes, trying to create a bigger arch in my foot. So activate those muscles that are under the arch. Make sure your arch muscles aren't just dumping to the floor. Now from this angle, this bent over position here, I can start to feel my glute kind of contracting a little bit more. I'm just holding, kind of letting that glute fire up a little bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and rotate medially. So I may have to move the broom, and I'm gonna rotate more towards my left. And you'll feel how the glute muscles are gonna have to shift a little bit. So I'm just rotating my right hip towards my left knee, if you think about it that way. Okay, and then I'm gonna straighten back out. I'm gonna turn around so you can see me. And then I'm gonna rotate the opposite way. So I'm gonna keep my left leg aligned, ankle, knee, and hip. And I'm gonna open up my hips wider. So my right hip is kind of coming back towards that ceiling, but I'm keeping my alignment here on my left. Remember, hips need to be very mobile. If our hips are not mobile, we will have back problems. Go ahead and switch arms. So we'll stabilize on the right leg, broom is in the left. Go ahead and lift up your left leg. Find your first bent over position. Just give your glutes a couple seconds. Think about your foot mechanics. How's your toes gripping? How are your arch, the muscles under your arches? Are they working? Nobody wants a lazy foot. All right. If you need a couple extra seconds to let that glute fire up, then you can go ahead and take them. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate medially or inward. So again, I'm kind of just dropping that left hip towards my right knee, rotating to my right. I may lean forward a little bit more. That changes my glute muscles. Okay, my glutes talking to me quite a bit. I'm gonna rotate back to forward. Make sure my foot is straight. And then I'm gonna rotate externally. So left hip rotates outward. I keep that right hip stable. Right ankle, knee, and hip are in alignment. And come back to center. Very good. Stand back up. All right, let's move on to a second round of those things. We'll go through them a little bit quicker. So we'll start on the floor with your figure 4 position. We're gonna skip the initial forward fold, and we're gonna go right into our first 2 rotations with no hands. So I've got my figure 4 position, I'm all in alignment. I'm gonna push down into my heels, rotate through my knees and hips. Good. We'll rotate back, push into those heels, rotate the hip and the knees. Okay, that was one rotation. Let's go back towards the right. shift, get yourself situated if you need to. And then the last time towards the left. One more time. Okay, now I'm gonna narrow up those legs. So bring my feet closer to my knees, and I'm gonna do that hip extension. So I'm going to lean forward, push into my knees and drive my hips forward. Bring my left foot underneath me. Bring my right foot forward into my lunge position. Tuck my tail. Lean into that lunge. Feel that left hip open. Come back. Swing that knee around. Whew, losing my balance. And slowly sit down onto the floor. Very good. We'll change sides. Rotate to the other side. Okay, we're gonna lean our body forward, push into our knees and use our hips. Push. Swing the bottom foot underneath you. That left leg will swing around. Tuck your hips under. Push into that lunge. Feel that right side stretch out. Give it a little extra stretch if you need to. Bring the knee back to the floor. Slowly sit your butt down. Good. Okay. We'll move into our Copenhagen leg raises. So find whatever, couch or chair, ottoman you're using. Make adjustments to the first set if you need to. Or if it was easy enough, you can slide your leg towards the front of the couch. So I'm going to bring my foot more to the edge of the couch to make it a little bit more challenging. When we're ready, we'll go ahead and lift up that hip. If this is all you can do, then this is totally fine. What I would do if I'm staying in this position is I would drive my top leg down into the couch. All right, if we're ready, we'll go ahead and raise that bottom leg. 2, 3, squeeze your butt. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Switch sides. Come over here. Again, if you're getting knee pain, then bend your knee and put your knee on the couch or the chair instead of the foot. All right, up we go. Find your side hip raise and then pull that bottom leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good, Malcolm. Do that again. 7, yeah, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Those are very difficult, everybody. Good job. Keep your pillow handy. We're going to need it. We'll go back to the single leg balance with the broom. Now that you guys have kind of an idea of what we're doing here with the glutes, hopefully, we can go a little bit faster. So I may take 2 rotations to each side. I'm going to start on my left leg. Broom is in my right hand. I've got my foot kind of activating already. I'm going to bend over. Maybe I'm going to find a more forward position, right? So instead of being a little bit more upright, I'm going to come over more into this bent over position. And that's going to activate my glute a little bit more even. Okay, so go ahead and start to rotate to the left or towards the hip that we're working on. Good, give it a second to kind of fire up. I'm going to rotate so you can see me better. And then go ahead and rotate the opposite direction. Don't be afraid to use that broom aggressively. Try to separate those hips as much as you can. I'm going to go through one more time. So I'm going to rotate inward again. Feel how those glutes kind of change with the movement of your hips. And then I'm going to open up. Whew. Very good. All right, change sides. Whew. Right leg is stabilizing. Left leg is going to come off the floor. I'm going to find my bent over position wherever my glutes can start talking to me, burning a little bit. All right. Okay, I'm going to start rotating. I'm going to rotate towards that hip. and then I'm gonna rotate away. Normally we'll have one side that's a little bit harder. This is my more difficult side, so I have to focus a little harder. Okay, I'm gonna rotate again towards my standing leg. And rotate away from that hip. And back to center. Very good. All right, we're done with the broom. Put that aside. Okay, grab a drink if you need to. Moving on, we're gonna do our kneeling hip extensions. We've done these before a couple weeks ago. I am going to have my loaded backpack on my back. I didn't do this last week, but I'm going to today just for a little extra weight. This is probably 40 or 50 pounds. So from this kneeling position here, if you don't have a backpack, I also have dumbbells to the side of me, so you can use dumbbells at your shoulder. So we will start here. Yes, I want you to try to be on your toes like this. I know it's uncomfortable for some people, but we'll try to load that big toe. Definitely have padding under your knee. And then from here, I want you to think about pushing your hips forward. So from this position, I'm going to squeeze my butt cheeks and push my hips forward. I will come down slowly. I am in a slightly forward position with my body, right? I'm creating like this bent hip position. So we're gonna do 12 of these. If you've already started, that's fine, go ahead, continue for 12. So I'm gonna consider this number 1, 2, and really focus on the pull of the hamstrings and the glutes. I know this is a lot different than doing like a deadlift or something really heavy, but remember, our brain needs to really kind of cue into the muscles that we're using. And sometimes just a shortened range of motion and a simpler range of motion can help us for when we are lifting heavy. Or if you have to, move a flower pot or something more realistic or lifelike. I'm gonna do one more. All right. We're gonna grab your paper plate and with your towel on it. So I have the towel on paper plate just to give my knee a little bit more padding. And we're gonna move right into some single leg adductor slides. So I'm in this position here. I will allow my right leg to slide out, and then I'm going to pull my legs together, my inner leg muscles together. So we're gonna do 8 to 10 on each side. Make sure you don't go out too far where you can't pull yourself back in. That would not feel good on your groin. All right, so when you're ready, we'll slide out and then pull both legs towards each other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go ahead and switch sides. Mom, if you're gonna do the lateral lunge, why don't you put the paper plate underneath your sliding leg? Stabilize. Let me give you a quick demo. So Mom, I would stabilize on left, slide right, pull back in. Okay, if that's bothering your knee to be on it. Okay, everybody else, if you haven't started, we'll go ahead and start with that second side. We're gonna slide out. So Lydia, yeah, if you can't be on your knee, slide the leg into like a lunge and then pull back together.
My paper plate doesn't slide.
5, I'm gonna do 2 more. If everybody else is done, you can go ahead and just take a quick second. All right, very good. Third movement we're gonna do in this set is a single leg sit to stand. I'm not gonna do it with 50 pounds on my back. I will use my ottoman. So we worked on our single leg balance with our broom. Now we're gonna work on our single leg strength, getting out of a chair and getting down into a chair. Actually, the more important position is, can we go down slowly and controlled with one leg? So I will lift up my right leg and I'm going to slowly descend to a seated position, and then I'm gonna get up from that seated position. We're gonna do this on 8 times per leg. Remember, if we had to pick one position, it would be the downward position that's most important. Go ahead and begin. 1, 2. Andy, that's kind of low for you. 3, do what you can. Yep. 4, maybe you can take your hand off of the chair when you're going down and then use the chair to get up. 'Don't lose the chair there, Andy. It's on wheels. I'm gonna do 1 more on this leg. Give everybody a chance to catch up, and then we'll switch legs. Okay, right leg, here I go. 8 times. Remember, if you had to do downward nice and slow, I would prefer you to have the leg raised. If you need to put that heel on the floor to help you get up, that's fine. But definitely try to go down with one leg. I've got 1 more on this leg. Very good. Finish up your set, and then we'll go back to the kneeling hip extensions. So get your pillow. I'm gonna put my backpack on. Get your weights if you don't have something heavy, so weights can be at your shoulders. All right, so we'll start in this position on your feet. I would, Susan, open up your knees a little bit. We need some space between your legs. Okay? Yep. And go ahead and begin. We're doing 12 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 to go. 10, 11, 1 more, and 12. All right, get your pillow situated, get your little paper plate. We'll go into those adductor slides. So we're gonna do 8 on each side. Remember, a strong adductor also needs to be a flexible adductor. So the ability for you to be able to slide out and get that adductor stretched is just as important as how strong you can maintain the contraction inward or the pull inward. And that goes for every muscle. The muscle is only going to be the strongest if it has full range of motion. I'm going to do 2 more on this side. And switch sides. Whew, I'm dripping sweat. All right, begin when you're ready. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mom, keep that right knee centered over your ankle. Don't let your right knee collapse inward. So push your knee out a little bit. Outward. All right, very good. Okay, we'll get ready for your single leg sit to stance. I would suggest doing the more difficult leg first. So I'm going to start with my right leg first. When we're ready, we're going to go for 8 on each leg. Whoops. Try to be as slow as you can on the way down. I'm going to do one more. And switch sides. A little slower, Malcolm. If you need to put your heel down, put your heel down. All right, that was 8 for me. We've got one more set. So let's get your pillow situated. Put your backpack on, grab your weights. Whew. All right, last set. Okay, find that kneeling position. Try to load your big toes evenly and go ahead and sit up. Susan, you're really shifting to the right. I'm sure it's because of your left big toe, but try to maybe, instead of going all the way down onto that toe, because it's creating that tilt in your QL, maybe try doing like a good morning instead, so you don't have to load that big toe. Nice and slow on the way down. I have no idea what number I'm on, so I'm gonna do 2 more. Very good. Okay, go ahead and stand if you're gonna do lunges. Find your paper plate and your towel if you're gonna do the adductors. And we'll begin for 8 on each side. Slide it out and pull back in. Slide it out and pull. Four, 5, 6, 7. One more on this side for me. And 8. Switch sides. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 8. Very good. All right. One more set of your single leg sit to stands. Whew. So Malcolm, what I was suggesting was keeping that heel on the ground as you descend, because you were kind of falling into your chair. So I would extend my non-working leg, but just put the heel down a little bit so that you don't fall into the chair. Okay? Okay, so then maybe put more pressure into the foot, right? If it's bothering your knee, use your foot more so that you can utilize your hips better. Okay. All right, I'll begin with my 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Switch legs when you're done. 1. Hopefully you guys are noticing that you need a lot of core stabilization and contraction to do this, especially on the way down. One more for me. Very good. Finish up the set you're on. Grab a drink if you need it. So, for the conditioning piece today, last week, if you guys remember, it's going to be 5 sets. It will go by fast, don't worry. 30 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We have 4 different movements. I'm going to show you those movements right now, just for a refresher. The first movement is a dumbbell thruster. I have 5-pound dumbbells. I am not trying to go crazy with my weights. If you have heavier weights and you want to challenge yourself, go for it. That's good. So the first movement will be a thruster, or better known as just a squat to an overhead press. That's first movement. Second movement is going to be a plank with your feet elevated on the couch, and then you walk down into a bear position. So when I step down, my knees are going to be under my hips, my back is going to be flat. I will step back up. We will do this for 30 seconds. Okay? Third movement is a lateral lunge, but we're going to do this kind of circular. So I will go into my lunge. I will stand up, move over, come down and around, kind of like our Cossack squats that we've done before. So I'll time us for 15 seconds and then we'll change directions, totaling 30 seconds. Fourth and final movement is a supine, so face up, scissor kick and flutter kick. So I'm going to put my hands underneath the small of my back. I will keep my head off of the floor because I do not have neck problems. If you have neck problems, the head can go to the floor. And then I will be doing scissor kicks and flutter kicks for 30 seconds. And my toes are pointed the entire time. We will have no rest beside the 20 seconds in between each movement. Whew. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to start my timer. We're going to start with those thrusters. Remember, we have 5 sets of everything, 30 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Find a pace that's manageable for this first round. We have 5 rounds, so we'll have time to ramp it up a little bit if we need to. Three, 2, 1. 20 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We'll find that plank position. We still got 10 seconds. So let's just get ready for it. All right, in 3, 2, 1, begin. So nice and easy. You step your feet up to the couch. You step your feet down into a bear position, so bent knees. Make sure you don't always lead with the same leg. We have 3, 2, 1, relax. Stand up for the lateral lunges. We've got 10 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Lateral lunge, come up and around. Yep. Just kind of think about this little circle, or kind of like what a boxer would do for like practice, to duck under a punch. And it's change directions. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay on your backs. We've got 10 seconds, and then we're doing the flutter kicks and scissor kicks. 3, 2, 1, begin. We've got 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Stand back up. Grab your dumbbells. We're going right back into the thrusters. We have 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. And rest. Whew. 10 seconds, and we're in that plank position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Make sure you change up your legs. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up for your lateral lunge. Whew. We've got 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to stay nice and low When you slide under that rope, slide under that person trying to punch you, switch directions, change them up. 3, 2, 1. On your backs. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, begin. Seconds. And rest. Stand back up. We're on to our third set. I told you guys it's going fast. Grab your dumbbells. Whew. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Keep yourself tight on the way down. 3, 2, 1. Get ready for your plank. We've got 10 seconds. Okay, get ready. And 3, 2, 1, begin. Halfway there. Five, 3, 2, 1. Stand up for your lunges. All right, in 3, 2, 1, begin. Try to get nice and low. Change directions. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your backs. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Fire away. Try to be a little bigger with your legs in both directions. It's going to use more hips, more core, more of those adductors. Three, 2, 1. Whew. Stand up. We got 2 more rounds to go, guys. 2 more. Whew. Grab your dumbbells. We've got 10 seconds. Hang in there, Malcolm. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Whew. 3, 2, 1. Very good. We've got 10 seconds. Find your plank position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lunges. Whew. Whew. We've got 10 seconds rest. 3, 2, 1, begin. Let's change directions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your backs. 10 seconds. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, one more round, guys. One more round. Stand up. We've got 10 seconds to your thrusters. Whew. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Three, 2, 1. Very good. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Seconds. Rest. Up to your lunges. We're almost done. We've got 2 more things to do. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Lunges. Susan, don't bend over so much, please. Change directions. 3, 2, 1. On your backs. Last movement. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Five, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Good job. Whew. Let's stay on the floor and do a little bit of stretching. Whew. I'm soaking wet. All right, let's just get into an old-fashioned traditional hamstring adductor stretch. So one knee in, the other leg extended out. Whew. There we go. And then if you can, just reach over and grab that foot. I may shake my leg a little bit. Whew. All right, let's change legs. Whew. All right, we're gonna go legs out in front of you. We'll go right knee over the left leg. I'm going to grab my knee with both arms and pull up my leg. So my foot is dangling off of the floor. You should feel this in the glute, in the hip. The harder you squeeze your knee, actually, the more it's gonna stretch the hip muscle. I'm gonna place that foot on the floor. I'm gonna do a gentle rotation to my right. If rotation bothers you, then be extra mindful of this. So I'm gonna put my left arm in front over my knee. I'm gonna lift up tall through my torso, give myself a little rotation, and then we'll change legs. I'm gonna cross the left leg over the right leg, grab the knee with both arms, and hug that knee. The foot is dangling off of the floor. There you go, Malcolm. Good, can you grab your elbows around that knee? There, I'll get your hip more. There you go. All right, we'll place that foot on the floor. We're gonna gently rotate to the left. My left arm comes behind me. My right arm comes in front of my left knee. I lengthen up through my torso and rotate. Okay, last but not least, we're gonna try a cross-legged position. However, it's gonna be a little bit different. Instead of crossing the feet underneath each other, I'm going to stack my feet on top of my knees. So my right foot is on top of my left knee at the moment. And my left foot is right under my my left foot is under my right knee. So this gets the hips. You may not have the ability to do it, it's okay. Malcolm, you look like a pretzel. Okay, we'll change legs. So my left leg will come on top of my right leg. Whew. Alrighty, everybody. We're done. Good work.